Hey everybody, this is Joel and
Paul
from Moving to Mexi.co. Bienvenidos a nuestro canal. And yeehaw! Well,
yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Joel, you're looking strong there.
Well, you know, I'm trying. I did crack my ribs. How many days ago now? Anyways, like a little bit of a freakish accident. I was doing a gravel ride with a customer from Canada. His name is Kerry. And we were going down this gravel road that I ride all the time. And this farmer, every now and then, he puts out this pump and he's pumping water from the irrigation canal into his field. And sometimes he leaves his the hose there and it gets all wet and muddy. But there's another little road just on top of this little hill. So I said to him, like, let's just avoid that. Let's like kind of turn here. But like I'm on a road gravel bike.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, the hill was a little bit back, so I turned more 180 and then corrected to a 45, and then just as I was coming through the turn, I just couldn't go anywhere. And I just tipped over. And literally, you're clipped in. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of us are clipped into our pedals. And it was just like a low speed, actually no speed. I just tipped over, and then the hill kind of had this round formation, and then my elbow crushed my ribs. And it felt like I just got freaking the shit kicked out of me. Like I was all winded. I couldn't breathe, and I thought I just like winded myself. Right?
Yeah,
like I just like
knocked the wind out of
knocked
yourself.
the wind out of myself.
You didn't hear like a crack.
I think I heard something. But then I was like in pain. I was winded. The customer's like, "Oh, you okay? You okay, man?" Like usually it's me. Right? I don't have to worry about them.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. I think I've just knocked the wind out of myself. Just give me like a minute. And then I'm like, nah, something's not right. So I get on the phone and I text Jillian, you gotta come pick me up. But we were kind of already a little bit of Bucerias. I'm like, let's just ride. And so I just rode back all the way to Bucerias. By the time I got there,
broken ribs?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, you know, so cyclists are strong. We're not like those wimpy soccer players that, you kind of like trip you a little bit and you're...
Or like LeBron James.
No, we can, we can push through the pain.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got back to Bucerias, and then Jillian arranged for Bob to ride out. Bob basically took over for me as I was going past, went to the customer finished his ride.
No, Bob just jumped right in.
Bob just, like Superman.
He's like... Yeah.
Oh, Superman.
you hit your hat. Yeah.
Oh, Bob did that. No, Bob did this? What did he do?
Yeah, he did like, yeah!
Anyways, I'm wearing the hat today because I had this whole getup ready for the Sergio Santana interview. But I had like my jeans, I had my cowboy boot, because I'm going to become Mexican. And, you know, who do I relate to the most? I think my rancher friends.
Yeah.
You know, so... Anyways, what day is it today, everybody? It is Taco Tuesday. Yeah.
That was a different one.
Yeah.
That's the when my ribs are broken.
That's the when your ribs are broken. Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. We thought we'd do a little bit different because of just the chaos with the ribs. And yeah, I actually am feeling better today because
you look good.
You know, the Mexican healthcare. Jillian messaged Dr. Sands. I just rolled in there. He hooked me up to his literally I walked in, I was x-rayed later 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes after that, he had the x-rays. He's like, yeah, you get some broken ribs. Good. As long as they don't like lie on it.
Right.
Or like, I can walk. So on that note, do you want to go into Casa Victoria right now? I'm going to talk a little bit about all these new projects we're going to be releasing next week. And we need everyone who's interested to get on the list now, because everything's going to sell out. Yeah,
because we haven't done like a good update on Paul's Cafe and Joel's Wine Bar and all that kind of stuff. So
now we're ready, and there's good reason because we just weren't ready. Like the architects are working on all the plans, and even though we have the tentative plans up on the website, we're doing all the structural drawings right now, because without structural drawings, we can't get pricing. Right. And without us getting pricing, then we can't give you pricing. So we hope by next week we're actually going to have pricing, and we're going to be ready to go to at least take reservations on everything. Cool. And then 14 days after that, more or less, we'll be able to get you the contract, and let's get these projects sold out.
Well, come on in to Casa Victoria Villas. How does that sound, Paul?
Sounds good.
Joel.
Joel.
So for those of you who were here during our Posada, you would have had a chance to tour this beautiful unit.
Yeah.
Insert video.
Taco Tuesday!
Is that? All right, let's do it again. That was weak.
and look at this place. It was just rocking. We must have had close to 100 people here.
Yeah, that was
so
a
you
fun
can see how much of an entertaining property Casa Victoria could be. And we had a great time.
Yes.
But anyways, we, as part of our new campaign to sell out Casa Victoria, I looked at the option of putting all the individual units up for sale, and definitely there's some interest. But we had more and more people reaching out to us, kind of in that $50,000 to $100,000 sweet spot, right? Like that's what they had to invest. They wanted to get their feet wet and real estate here in Mexico. They wanted the ability to have something that they could vacation to on a regular basis every year, but also have flexibility so that, let's say 1 year they didn't want to come to Bucerias for whatever reason, want to do, some bucket list trip to Spain or Australia or some other place. Like what do I do with that unit? Then it's kind of like a waste of investment. So, and just all the trials and tribulations of owning property. Managing it, having to take care of the property manager, who then has to take care of all the staff and all the rentals and et cetera, et cetera. So we came up with the option to get a fractional ownership at Casa Victoria Villas, which essentially from $50,000 allows you to invest in the entire property.
Wow.
How's that there, Paul?
That sounds great there, Joel.
Joel?
I was going to call you Edna.
As it stands right now, we have 4 2-bedroom, 2 baths, with this one being like the premier unit. So a lot of people are interested in renting this unit every year. So as part of the program, the co-ownership program, fractional ownership program, your $50,000 gets you 2 things.
Yeah.
First, it gets you rental credits, which you can use every year. You can cash them in for money, or you can carry them forward to future years. And the way a rental credit works is once we sell out the program, we list, well, actually even before that, as we launch the program, we list each unit and what the rental credits are per week and per month. And that, once you invest, you generate those rental credits every year, and you use those rental credits to redeem time. But the cool thing is as rent goes up over the years, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your rental credit rate does not change, right? So if you're renting this upper villa for, I think Jillian said it's $3,600 or $3,800 normally
per month
during the high season, on a $50,000 investment, you're basically getting 3,000, like 10. This one will be just over 10 rental credits. So you'd be a little bit short, and then maybe you just invest a little bit more money, so that every year that 50 grand basically covers your whole month stay here.
Right.
And
then, but you get to rent out the rest of the property.
Yeah, and then the rest of the property gets rented out, and then at the end of every year, whatever cash flow is left for income gets distributed to all the owners. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So if you're using the property, you just get to use the property. You don't have to outlay any cash other than a small fee, which is really your HOA expense, let's call it, but you only pay when you stay.
You pay when you stay.
You pay when you stay. So if you carry those rental credits forward to a future year, for example, so in the example where you have 10 rental credits and you don't want to use them in 2022, you want to use them in 2023, now in 2023 you have 20, right? So let's say you want to do a family reunion here, you could book multiple units that have different rental credit rates and fill up the place, right?
That'd be fun.
And then maybe next year you just want to come and spend just time with you and your spouse, and you want to stay in just one of the 1 bedrooms, which will get you more time for the amount of rental credits, because it's all basically based on value.
That's cool.
I'm not going to go into it too much on this video, just because we're going to have 2 information sessions coming up next week. So what we need you to do right now is go to the website, maravillanairit.com, and you will, well, I'm going to put the full link in
the description.
In the description here.
Yeah.
Just click on that link, and there's a form you can fill out that registers your interest. You can register the amount that you're interested in potentially investing, and then Daniela is going to reach out to you with a link to choose from 2 of the info sessions, and that'll be on Zoom, and you can join the Zoom meeting, and we do a full-on Q&A and make sure that you understand everything about the program and that you're comfortable with it. But we had the whole talk, and what did you think? You thought it was pretty neat.
I think that this program sounds pretty cool. One cool thing that I liked about it was, as we work out how this one is gonna how this one works and everything, there's potential for new developments, or even including other developments like Cuatro Estaciones.
Exactly.
Or, like you said, maybe we're going to do something in the mountains.
Yeah.
And then that will open up options. Like if you buy in right now and you say, I want to get, I invest this much money into Casa Victoria. Later on, you're like, well, we stayed there for 3 years. Let's try it over here in Cuatro Estaciones.
And you'll be able to port your rental credits. And that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
A little bit more fine details to work out on that. It would likely come down to a vote of the investors. So we would come to the Casa Victoria investors and say, hey, we got these other 2 projects here. We're going to be selling them as fractional ownership. Do you want to be part of that? Meaning, when we sell those people become part of this, and you become part of that. Right? So yeah, I think there's tons of possibility. And I think Danielle even came up with one. Well, I've already, some people have already bought a condo here, right? Yeah. So maybe, why would I be interested? Well, do you have family? Do you have guests? Do you imagine that in the future you're going to have people visiting you and your condo's not big enough? Well, now you're generating rental credits to have family and friends stay just a little bit down the street from you. Right?
Totally.
Right? So you got to get your own space. And then in the years where, let's say, you're not using them, then you cash in your rental credits. So those unused rental credits, you can literally cash them in for cash, and we'll explain more of this at the info session. And then plus at the end of the year, you get your pro rata share of the revenue. So let's say on average you're making 7 to 9% on your investment. That's probably going to pay your HOA fees and the condo that you already own. So totally, kind of a neat way to look at it, to have a little bit more investment in Bucerias, a town that you know and you understand, so you understand exactly what you're investing in. And it's very turnkey because it's professionally managed. We've been at this one for 15 plus years now. We got a super good list of customers that just stay here year in and year out. And I think for all of you past rental customers, this is a great opportunity to say, I want to stay in Unit D every year. Yeah, because you just don't have to worry about where am I going to rent next year. You can basically lock Unit D in for 2 years at a time. And once you lock in a unit, you always have first right of refusal the next year to extend it to the second year, right? So we're going to have that as part of the program. So it's really a cool way for you to have fractional ownership of an entire property, but have your specific use, right, guaranteed to you of the unit that you want.
Well, more to come at our info session, Paul. How's that sound there, Paul?
That sounds great, Joel.
Excellent.
All right, so first, just to let everyone know, it is Taco Tuesday. We don't have tacos yet.
It's middle of the day.
It's middle of the day. So what I'm going to do is there's a new taqueria that opened up. It's had a lot of iterations of restaurants. There's always been a seafood restaurant, and I think everyone had the best of intentions, but it never ever worked out. But this place looks like it's bumping, and Jillian went there the other day and said it was delicious. So we're gonna go get some tacos. I'll do a quick video on the phone. I'll send you the footage, and I'll either give my thumbs up or my thumbs down. How's that sound?
Okay.
We all know it's gonna be a thumbs up. Yeah. Because we pre-scoped it out. So there is the information on the fractional ownership at Casa Victoria, but we also wanted to give an update on Paul's Cafe as well as Joel's Wine Bar. We are literally imminently ready to release the reservations on those because I should have costs to me by the end of this week, which is going to allow me to develop pricing. Once I develop pricing, then we can go to the market and say, look, we got these units that are now available for sale. Or reservation right now, so you can reserve it. And then within 14 days, we'll have contracts ready, and you can convert your reservation to a bona fide offer. And it allows you basically to lock in your price, lock in your contract, and gives you 14 days to think about it. And then that's going to be it in a nutshell. But we're going to release both Paul's Cafe and Joel's Wine Bar all at the same time next week, and Casa Victoria Villas fractional ownership. And we're going to do it with a simple reservation system. So $1,000 down, fully refundable. Okay. So if you don't proceed with the contract within 14 days, then you get your money back. But at least it locks you in. Yeah. Especially on the fractional ownership is super important because if you're wanting to get first crack at booking a specific unit, it's kind of first past the post. So we're going to go in the order that the reservations are received. Yeah, and it just helps us kind of filter out the serious people, right? Exactly. Yeah. And it's raining today. It is raining today. That doesn't happen very often. No, it's late, kind of late January. Yeah. Sometimes it rains
like around Christmas time, right? But no, this is kind of strange. And it was very windy this morning.
So maybe there's just some kind of like front or something coming in.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice. It smells nice and
keeps the dust down.
Keeps the dust down a little bit. Yeah, it tends to get a little bit dusty right now.
Right.
I know we'll have renderings. We'll have some photos.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully by the end of next week.
Yeah.
I'll have some renderings updated for Paul's Cafe because I have the one for Joel's Wine Bar, but we're going to go do some more drone footage so that we can incorporate that into the actual renderings.
Yeah.
But sometime next week we'll have those up on the site as well. But I'm pretty stoked about your project.
Me too. I think that's going to be an awesome spot.
Yeah, like it definitely has like some amazing views.
Yes.
Even more so than my property. Just for whatever reason, the way that land is laid out and exactly where it is, it's nice. I mean, both have their pros and cons, right? But actually, not much for cons.
No, I don't think so.
There's no cons there.
Yeah, only pros.
Only pros. Before we leave this video and transition to the taco stand where I'm going to be at a little later today, I want to talk about a few meals that came in. Regarding like like we had actually some people say, well, some guy sent like a very aggressive message via text, via Fido or something. Like I know it's a Canadian, so you could send a text message to an email.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I'll come to Mexico only when I'm ready to be killed. I'm like, okay. Mass psychosis lately? Like,
right.
All right.
Yeah.
And then another lady sent not an aggressive message like that, but just genuine concern.
Sure.
They were looking to move to Mexico, but now that 2 Canadians were killed in Cancun area, they're going to change their plans. And I just really want to put this in perspective, right? So if you look into what actually happened a couple days ago in Cancun, these were 2 known criminals. They were Canadian. They were Mexican Canadians, but they were well known to both police in Mexico and police in Canada. How they even got into Mexico, who knows? But certainly they were probably hanging around with the wrong people. And that's usually when people find themselves getting in trouble, if you hang around with the wrong wrong dudes or dudettes.
That kind of goes wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
And just some quick stats. I mean, I actually pulled it, but I left the thing downstairs. But like in the last 4 years, like 20 Canadians were murdered in the States. And it was about equal in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So what were I don't know what happened in those instances, but now do you not go to the States?
Right.
Like a doctor in New York City, I read an article, was shot by some crazed gunman.
Yeah.
In a hospital.
Yeah.
Now do you cancel all your trips to New York? So you got to put it in perspective. Kind of stay out of the danger zones.
Right.
And
be smart.
And be smart.
Yeah, I think that it just sounds more scary because of what we've been conditioned to think about Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? And the news is always trying to make Mexico sound scary.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like when I talk to Daniela and I hear her perspective on it, she's kind of afraid to go to the United States. She's not afraid.
Yeah.
But she hears the concerns from the other side where they're like, oh, there's all those crazy gringos who, shoot up a school or shoot up a mall or something. And I'm like, that is true. If I would be kind of like, well, be careful when you go, because we always hear about these mass shootings and all this kind of stuff, right?
Well, Vegas. I think 6 Canadians were shot in Vegas. Will you ever go to Vegas? You're not going to Vegas anymore?
Right.
Right. And that was like a mass shooting.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I've never heard of a mass shooting in Mexico, actually.
Oh, other than like
I think it's always just
thing,
random.
Right?
Yeah, narco like specific.
Sure.
But it's usually
it's not like a random guy like I'm gonna go shoot up whatever.
Like, the town hall or a soccer game, or it's usually targeted.
Right.
Or just random, man. One time in Calgary, I went to a restaurant. This is way before we came to Mexico, and nice restaurant on 17th Avenue, kind of a hip area, and. Was sitting down for dinner, all was great, had a great night. Next night, table next to me, 2 guys shot dead.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So, and like it was like some kind of Asian gang violence thing.
Yeah.
So it can happen anywhere. Like what if we were there that night?
Yeah.
You're just like a casualty of a random targeted shooting. So anyways, you can't, everyone's got to do what they want, but like we just personally feel we just got to live our lives. And it's not like we're in Beirut. It's not like we're in Iran or Iraq. And even places there are probably somewhat safe. I guess
if people look at our videos, and even if they had their whole idea of Mexico and living here and what that would look like was skewed towards the Fox News perception,
right?
They would start to get a little vibe that it's not as scary as they make it out, right?
That's right.
Because I mean, we're not like sugarcoating it,
right? When
we're going out, like only showing you the nice things. Like we show you the nice things for sure,
yeah.
But we're also showing you like the streets, like in the barrios,
yeah.
Like we're going to the taco places that are not on the main drag. You know, and we're not afraid.
We're not afraid.
Yeah, and nobody is.
Nobody is.
Right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Again, just use common sense.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're going to Miami, stay out of the place where all those guys hang out. And if you're going to Cancun, you know, I don't know. Like,
I'm from Salinas, California, so I'm not really afraid of anything.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cut to the next scene where I am having some tacos at this new taqueria down the street. I'm definitely going to have to check it out, but I'll give you more of a review once we're there and we're chowing down. Sound good, Paul?
Sounds fantastic.
A few moments later.
A little bit of a change here. It is Taco Tuesday, but instead we're doing Stir Fry Tuesday because we had all these leftovers. So come check it out. So we went to the Sonora Grill, right? Well, I didn't go because I was all broken. But we had Sonora Prime. We had all this leftover beef. All these leftover vegetables. I added a little bit more cauliflower, some caramelized onions. Broccoli. I always get these two mixed up. Garlic, and we're going to stir fry that. We're going to add in some rice. And then check this out, Jillian. We got chicken dumplings. And I don't know what those ones are.
They're also dumplings.
Oh, are they chicken or pork?
Chicken. The other ones I think are vegetable.
Okay, so there's a done. Anyways, we're going to make a little stir fry, and wow, Ozarks is back. Exciting, hey, Jill?
Very exciting.
So Ozarks on Netflix. We're going to do a little binge watch today. We're going to have our stir fry, and that's another edition. And sorry there wasn't any tacos today, but we'll make up for it in another video. And on that note, everybody, nos vemos. Hasta luego and adios desde Bucerias, Mexico, and Casa Victoria Diaz. Well, yeehaw! Yeehaw!